The Guardian of Shadows, a tale of wilderness and redemption. The first time Ranger Samuel Rodriguez saw Scout, the lion was nothing more than a trembling ball of golden fur, abandoned and near death. It was 15 years ago, during the most challenging period of Sam's life, a time when he was wrestling with his own demons and searching for purpose. Sam had lost his wife, Maria, to cancer 2 years earlier, leaving him a broken man. The wildlife reserve had become his sanctuary, his last connection to a world that seemed intent on breaking his spirit. When the park's lead veterinarian brought in the orphaned lion cub, something shifted inside Sam. The cub had been found near a poached pride, its mother and entire family massacred by illegal hunters. Its eyes, even then, held an intelligence that was both haunting and extraordinary. The veterinarian didn't expect the cub to survive, but Sam saw something different, a spark of resilience that mirrored his own wounded soul. Night after night, Sam bottle-fed the cub, talking to him about Maria, about loss, about the delicate balance of life in the wilderness. Scout listened, his golden eyes absorbing every word, every emotion. As months passed, the bond between the ranger and the lion grew into something beyond human understanding, a connection that transcended species. Ethan's story began on a scorching summer afternoon when the wilderness seemed to hold its breath. The 4-year-old boy appeared like a ghost, emerging from the dense undergrowth of the reserve, his small body covered in scratches, his eyes holding a terror that no child should ever know. The circumstances of his arrival were a mystery that would take years to unravel. His parents, Dr. Elena Rodriguez, no relation to Sam, and Dr. James Carter, were renowned environmental scientists who had been investigating a series of illegal activities within the reserve's most restricted areas. Their research had uncovered something profound and dangerous, evidence of underground genetic experiments, environmental manipulation that threatened not just the reserve, but potentially the entire ecosystem. They had discovered a network of hidden laboratories, secret funding from powerful corporations, and experiments that pushed the boundaries of scientific ethics. On the day Ethan was left alone, his parents knew they were being pursued. Their final act of love was to ensure their son's safety, giving him a set of coordinates and instructions to hide, to survive. Scout's reaction to Ethan was instantaneous and inexplicable. The now massive lion approached the child not as a predator, but as a protector. His movements were calculated, his golden eyes scanning the surrounding wilderness with an intelligence that seemed almost human. Ranger Sam watched in disbelief as Scout positioned himself around Ethan, creating a living shield against potential threats. The lion's body language spoke of a protective instinct that went beyond natural behavior. It was as if he understood the child's trauma, his vulnerability. As days turned into weeks, the mystery of Ethan's past began to unravel. Fragments of conversations, cryptic notes found in his torn backpack, whispers from scientific colleagues, a complex narrative emerged of a conspiracy that reached far beyond the reserve's boundaries. The hidden laboratories were studying something extraordinary, the potential for genetic adaptation, for creating organisms that could survive in rapidly changing environmental conditions. Ethan's parents had been key researchers who had discovered the project's true, potentially catastrophic implications. Scout became more than a guardian. He became Ethan's bridge to healing, to understanding. The boy, who had been nearly mute from trauma, began to speak first to the lion, then to Sam. His drawings told stories of underground chambers, of strange experiments, of a world far more complex than anyone could imagine. The reserve itself seemed to respond to their presence. Animals behaved differently, communication seemed to flow in ways that defied scientific explanation. Scout moved between worlds, part wild predator, part something else entirely. As years passed, the bond between Ethan, Sam, and Scout became legendary among those who worked in conservation. They were more than protectors of the wilderness. They were its living embodiment, a testament to the profound connections that exist beyond human comprehension. The secrets of the reserve remained, whispered only in the rustle of leaves, in Scout's knowing gaze, in Ethan's haunting memories. But they had found something more important than truth. They had found family, in all its wild and unexpected forms. When visitors to the reserve caught glimpses of a massive lion watching from the tree-line, accompanied by a young man and a weathered ranger, they saw more than just guardians. They saw a living story of survival, of protection, of the unbreakable bonds that connect all living things. Some called it a miracle. Sam simply called it home. Would you like me to continue or elaborate on any specific aspect of the story? The bond between Ethan, Sam, and Scout deepened as they faced the challenges of the reserve together. Each day brought new adventures and lessons, as Ethan learned to navigate the wilderness with the same instinctual grace that Scout embodied. Sam taught him about the flora and fauna, the delicate balance of the ecosystem, and the importance of conservation. Ethan's laughter echoed through the trees as he played with Scout, who would gently nudge him with his massive head, encouraging him to explore. The lion became a source of comfort and strength for the boy, who had once known only fear and loss. In return, Ethan brought a sense of purpose back into Sam's life, reigniting the passion for protecting the wild that had dimmed after Maria's passing. As Ethan grew, so did his understanding of the world around him. He began to sketch the animals he encountered, capturing their essence on paper. His drawings were filled with vibrant colors and intricate details, each one telling a story of the life that thrived in the reserve. Sam often marveled at Ethan's talent, seeing in his art a reflection of the boy's healing journey, but the shadows of the past loomed large. The threat that had driven Ethan's parents into hiding still lingered, a dark undercurrent that could not be ignored. Rumors of strange lights and mysterious figures in the reserve persisted, and Sam knew they had to remain vigilant. The corporation behind the illegal activities was powerful and ruthless, willing to do whatever it took to protect their secrets. One fateful night, as the moon hung low in the sky, Sam heard a rustling outside his cabin. He stepped out, heart racing, to find Scout standing at the edge of the tree-line, his body tense and alert. The lion's golden eyes were fixed on a distant point, a low growl rumbling in his throat. Sam followed Scout's gaze and saw shadows moving among the trees, figures that did not belong in the reserve. "Ethan, stay inside," Sam called, his voice steady despite the fear coursing through him. He knew they had to protect the boy at all costs. Scout moved closer to Sam, a silent promise of protection as they prepared to confront the unknown. The figures emerged from the darkness, clad in black and carrying equipment that glinted ominously in the moonlight. They were not just poachers, they were agents of the corporation, sent to retrieve what they believed was rightfully theirs, the knowledge Ethan's parents had uncovered. As the intruders advanced, Scout let out a roar that echoed through the night, a primal sound that sent shivers down Sam's spine. The lion charged forward, a magnificent force of nature, while Sam grabbed a flashlight, illuminating the intruder's path. The beam of light caught their startled faces, and for a moment, time stood still. "Get back!" Sam shouted, his voice firm. The intruders hesitated, taken aback by the sight of the massive lion and the determined ranger standing their ground. But they quickly regained their composure, brandishing their equipment as weapons. In that moment, Ethan appeared at the cabin door, clutching his teddy bear tightly. He sensed the tension in the air, the danger that loomed just beyond the safety of their home. "Sam," he cried, his voice trembling. "Stay back, Ethan," Sam ordered, his heart aching at the sight of the boy's fear. But Ethan, emboldened by the bond he shared with Scout, stepped forward, his small frame radiating a courage that belied his age. "Scout will protect us," Ethan declared, his voice steady. The lion turned to the boy, a flicker of understanding passing between them. In that moment, Scout became not just a guardian, but a symbol of hope and resilience. The intruders, realizing they were outmatched, began to retreat. But Sam knew they wouldn't give up easily. They would return, and next time, they might not be so easily deterred. As the night wore on, Sam, Ethan, and Scout stood together, united against the darkness that threatened their sanctuary. The bond they shared was unbreakable, forged in the fires of adversity and strengthened by love and loyalty. In the days that followed, they devised a plan to protect the reserve and expose the corporation's illegal activities. With Ethan's drawings and Sam's knowledge of the land, they gathered evidence, documenting the secrets hidden within the reserve's depths. Together, they would fight not just for their safety, but for the future of the wilderness they cherished. The shadows that once held terror now became a source of strength, a reminder that even in the darkest times, light could be found in the most unexpected places. As they prepared for the challenges ahead, Ethan felt a sense of purpose blossoming within him. He was no longer just a lost boy, he was a protector of the